Aboard as we are live on Facebook. A little live looking at our practice session down here, Winter Dirt Games 13, Bubba Raceway Park. Thanks so much for joining us. First of all, thank you to everybody joining us out here in the stands. The campground filling up nicely down there, but it's good to have you out here in the stands with us. But thanks for checking things out online as well. And again, our practice session tonight, racing the next 3 nights with the 6:30 Eastern time, as we're down in Florida, but a 6:30 Eastern time start time the next 3 nights, 5,000 to win on Thursday, 5,000 to win on Friday, and 10,000 to win on Saturday with the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Series. But, yeah, just a tremendous field of talent down in the pit area. We have 42 drivers checked in. I know we have another one driver I know for sure is coming tomorrow. Won't make it here till tomorrow, but 42 checked in already for practice session tonight, so not too shabby. And one of the strongest fields of sprint cars you'll see throughout the course of the season because it gathers sprint car racers from all across the United States. So you have your East Coast racers. You have your, obviously, the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Series. You also have some of your Midwest guys coming down here that normally just run at the local races up there. So just a nice mixture of talent down here and a lot of young talent and a lot of older talent. So getting underway here with our practice session. It's actually been going on here for just a little bit. Also, just bring you abreast of the situation. I'd love to interact with you while you're watching on Facebook, which would require me looking at Facebook, which ain't going to happen. And I'll tell you why is because we're currently under a Verizon outage down in this neck of the woods. So northern Florida under a Verizon outage, and I can't even get to my Facebook page. I can't get to anything. So I'll just thank you for joining us on the broadcast here. Hey, if you're looking for more information on USAC, you can find it at usacracing.com. Don't forget to follow along with USAC Racing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at USAC Nation on Twitter and Instagram. And Richie doing a phenomenal job at bringing out another session here for our practice. So, again, just a practice session tonight. Something else that's interesting or unique about this weekend is a little different format for us. So the first 2 nights of the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car events here, we're going to be keeping track of points. And that points is going to lock in the top 5 drivers into Saturday night's 10,000 to win feature events. It also formulates the lineups for Saturday's finale, so there will be no qualifying on Saturday. It'll be all lined up based off the points they earned the first 2 nights during these 5,000 to win shows on Thursday and Friday. So kind of a little something unique. You can read more about it on the USAC Facebook page. Richie's done a great job, put out a little article there for you to watch. So get ready to throttle them up here in the next session. So far, we've seen Mario Klauser come out the number 6 car, make her into the 16-second bracket, a 16.366 down close to the 15-second bracket. So we'll cut this group loose. Carson Short out here, the number 21 car, ripping his way around. Along with, I believe that's Chase Stockton, the number 5 car you're looking at there on the screen as we speak. So it could be the 5X as well getting across. So Jason McDougall in the black one, so he is in the 5X car. So Jason McDougall down here racing with us in the Hudson John Deere ride. But there is Carson Short, the number 21, had one of the best saves I have ever seen in a sprint car here at Bubba Raceway Park. Got her out over the cushion down at turn number 4, about right where they were, and slipped out towards the wall. It shelves off on the top of this racetrack, and he just kind of pointed the nose back towards the east and throttled that thing up big time and powered his way out of stacking it up on the fence. It was one of the coolest things ever. But Carson Short out here with us. Bad man Robert Ballou also blazing around the number 12 car. It was laundry day in a blue camp. He's got all his driver suits hanging out there to dry. Ballou into the number 2 spot here in the hot lap session, a 16.595, 16.595 for the number 12 car racer out of Rockland, California, formerly out of Rockland, California, I should say. But again, just a tremendous field of talent coming out here as Jack Hoyer gets through. Hoyer's got a great name for a race car driver, doesn't he? That's the young gun, the rookie runner out here out of Frankfort, Indiana. And this is about his 10th start, or will be his 10th start behind the wheel of a sprint car. And that number 57, DCT Racing, ADEX Graphics, Fatheads, Brewer Farms, all sponsors of the 57C. Sporting a J&D Chevrolet underneath the hood, but will be fun to watch. And again, one of our rookie runners. So blaze on through. Alex Benalis into number 5X into the number 11 spot. Carson Short third quick. Ballou goes to the top of the field. Not a big surprise there. 16.069 as this track will continue to get faster and faster. So Wesley Smith blazes on through the number 44 coming out of Nixon, Missouri. CarQuest, All Metal Recycling, Helm Racing sponsors the number 44. He's got a little bit of push in the snoot. Takes him up high on the racetrack. Back down onto the racing groove. Got himself 6 quick, a 16.896 lap time for him. Frequent winner with the USAC Midwest Wingless Racing. As a checkered flag comes out from Mike up in the flag stand. But again, thanks so much for checking out the practice session here tonight. Winter Dirt Games 13. If you are sitting out in the stands, she had the trailer open earlier on, but make sure you grab your T-shirts and your stickers are available from the USAC Merchandise and Apparel trailer. But if you're watching on the Facebook Live, you can also purchase that online. There's limited quantities available, but you can actually go to USAC Merchandise on Facebook, and there's a link up there. You can also get to the store through usacracing.com. So all that and much, much more. But again, racing action going to start at 6:30 across the board Thursday, Friday, and Saturday out here at Bubba Raceway Park for Winter Dirt Games 13. If you're not able to make it down here and join us in the Sunshine State, you can watch it all live on Flow Racing. The season will kick off up in the Midwest April the 2nd at Lawrenceburg Speedway for the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Cars, and then Atomic Speedway out in Ohio on Saturday, April 16th will be the second run up in the Midwest. But coming up before that, in March, we will be indoors in DuQuoin, Illinois with the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Series for the Shamrock Classic. 2 days of racing indoors, March 11th and 12th with 600 micros in support. But those tickets already on sale in advance at ShamrockClassicDuQuoin.com to purchase your tickets in advance. And if you purchase your tickets in advance, you get a free T-shirt. But speaking of Flow Racing, don't forget to follow along with us on Flow Racing, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Love to have you on board for that as well. As there comes a rookie runner out onto the racetrack. Going to be fun to watch. One to watch and fun to watch this year. Emerson Axum in the 47 BC out of Franklin, Indiana, down in turn number 1 and 2 as we speak. Clausen Marshall Newman Racing, driven to save lives. Z-Max Race Products, all sponsors of the 47 BC. But we'll be running the entire season. The Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Series. Colfax Comet just ahead of him. Robert Bell in the number 71. Bell having quite the season last year. Picked up 5 wins down at Oskaloosa, 3 of them in a row. And then he missed the setup a little bit and got a little help with the setup. He's got her super tuned here for the season coming up at Oskaloosa. Benton Trucking, Billy Bell House Moving, Bell Trucking, and Simpson, all sponsors of the Colfax Comet. Fun follow on the social medias. So, again, thanks so much for coming out and joining us here in the grandstands tonight. Free grandstand admission if you are close and thinking about coming up here. Come on up. We've got plenty of room. So we get ready to throttle them up and cut them loose. Kyle Cummins, 3R car out on the racetrack. You're one watching down into turn number 1. Princeton, Indiana racer and Rocksteady Racing. Ultimate Predator Boats, Mid-America Safety Solutions, all sponsors of the 5-time MSCS Sprint Car champ. And Cummins fun to watch, not only in a sprint car, but in a midget as well. If you play Dirt Draft, and you should be playing Dirt Draft, if you like fantasy sports, fantasy racing is Dirt Draft. And Kyle Cummins usually does very well for me in Dirt Draft, so I take him a lot, no matter what they're racing. Want to shout out to the fine folks at Dirt Draft. I'm addicted to that. They actually you earn points on it, and spend those points in the store, and you get all kinds of cool stuff. Chad Baseflug was out here earlier on. He was actually one of the quicker ones as the track started to come around for us. The Hanford Hornets. It's been a long time since I've seen Baseflug behind the wheel of a sprint car, or a non-wing sprint car, I should say. A couple years ago was running a wing car at Knoxville, but Hanford, California racer, formerly called Hanford Home. Capital Custom Trailers and Coaches, Bennick Enterprises, number 2B cars. So that's Chad Baseflug. It's good to have him out here. One of only 40 drivers with at least 200 career USAC National Sprint Car starts. It's kind of an interesting statistic coming from Richie. He's got a ton of them. He's got some great stories, too. Screen flag going to come out on this session. Robert Ballou, 15.748. And I don't know where this is going. I can tell you this. A track record was set. We'll get to track record. We'll talk about that tomorrow in qualifying. But they have reshaped the racetrack here in the last 2 years. And the shape took away. I called it the power-up down in turn number 4. It was kind of like a divot down there you could drive down into and get a big, big launch onto the front straightaway. And they took the power-up away from us. So it may not see quite as quick a lap time as we saw whenever we set track records. Cummins gets into the number 11 spot pretty quickly. Chad Baseflug, second quick, 16.170. He might have something for us here this weekend. The old Maxim chassis with the Claxton Chevrolet underneath the hood of the 2B car. Kind of coasts his way through turn number 4 onto the front chute. And yeah, he's a 15.916 lap time. Not too shabby at all. Emerson Axum gets into the number 3 spot for the rookie racers. Got a couple laps underneath his belt. Good times to be had by all. So send them all around. Track coming to us nicely. Started out a little moist. That's what took us a little bit to get out live here on Facebook. We wanted to wait until they were getting some good lap times. Then we had to kind of blow it off and get things run in. But now she's looking pretty good around the old 3/8 mile. If you are tuned in watching on Facebook and have never seen Bubba Raceway Park, I highly encourage you to get on Google Maps and take out a satellite view and check out the shape of this racetrack. Very unique, a big old D shape. Charged down the front straightaway. They hit into turn number 1 and then basically got her on yaw all the way around back to turn number 4. The key is when you feather the throttle or get out of it or get back into it again. That's the technique out here. We got ourselves a little drag race onto the front chute. It's Kyle Cummins down the inside of Robert Bell. And a race broke out. Hang on to it. Cummins doesn't want to tread out there too far. You get into that wall and it'll suck you over. And we saw that with Timez and his midget last week. Got into the wall down turn number 3 and then checked it out back in pit area, got him back out, and then ended up snapping an axle down at turn number 4. As Cummins makes a bold move across the infield, ready to pass the photographers down there, not wearing a fluorescent vest. He might want to rethink that strategy. But again, 3 nights of racing, 5,000 to win tomorrow, 5,000 to win on Friday, and then 10,000 to win on Saturday. And again, accumulating points for these racers over the next 2 nights. Top 5 in points will be locked into Saturday's 10,000 to win feature event. The tiebreaker, because I ask, the tiebreaker is your best feature finish. If it's a tie in that, then you go to your second best feature finish. If it's still a tie, then you go to your qualifying time from your best qualifying time. That'll get them. So Emerson Axum got into the top spot, a 15.357, 15.357 for Emerson Axum to 47 BC. Base Fluke second quick, a 15.684. Robert Blue into the number 3 spot, Kyle Cummins, and Mario Klauser, now your top 5 in times during this practice session here at Bubba Raceway Park at Winter Dirt Games 13. And again, I apologize I can't interact with you. I feel bad about that, but it's a Verizon outage. T-Mobile is working great, though, I am told. Not that I'm advertising T-Mobile over Verizon, but I am kind of sort of because T-Mobile's still working and my Verizon's not. So, go figure. So we'll fire off a couple more cars here. And again, 42 or 43. 42 cars checked in tonight. It'll be 43 tomorrow. Almost guarantee you. Unfortunately, Dennis Gow, if Dennis Gow's tuned in watching on the Facebook Live, Dennis, we hope you're feeling better. And had a drive line go out on his car over at Volusia and broke his right foot. So it came apart in the race car and got over into his right foot. So, Dennis, hopefully you're feeling better and get back to it before too awful long. He's an athlete, though. He'll heal it quickly, or at least act like he's healed and get out there and do it anyway. Because that's what athletes do. Am I right? Another clump pushed off here. Yep, that's fine. You got a quick fire. Brady Short coming out onto the racetrack. 61 M car joining us out here this weekend. Randy Edwards, Auto Wheel and Rim. Engler Machine and Tool. Scott Performance number 61 M car down in turn number 2, and that is a beautiful, beautiful race car, but hasn't been down here to Bubba Raceway Park. He said he thinks since 2016, but it was confirmed by someone else. They said yes, 2016, but Brady Short, always fun to watch. Former modified standout behind the wheel of the 61 M car, but good to have him back down here again after a 6-year hiatus. And Jason McDougall comes back out again. McDougall scored as a 5M car out here this weekend. The Hudson John Deere S&C Machine Chrome Dome number 5M car, and they've been struggling a little bit to get him comfortable in that race car. They're making some changes on it down to pit area earlier on today. Now, Chase Stockton has had some great runs over at Volusia in the 5S car, the sister car to the 5M, but McDougall struggling a little bit with this one. They'll get her figured out here for this weekend. Yeah, trouble there for Thomas Meserol, the Chris Dyson number 28 car. Picked up the win at Volusia last night in a dominating fashion. And then had one of the greatest interviews in Victory Lane that I've seen in quite some time. So Alex Braid is coming tomorrow. So Alex Braid will be with us tomorrow. That was the racer that I was thinking about. So, yeah, it looks like, unfortunately, T-Maz not able to fire off here tonight. So 20M car make his way back into the pit area. So picked up the feature event win of Volusia last night. Did not get the Big Gator. The Big Gator went to CJ Leary, who's out here with us. Well, not on the track right now, but he's out here in the pit area. And I got to hold it. I asked him to see the Big Gator and the Little Gator. That was kind of cool. Well, actually, it was really cool, if I were perfectly honest about it. Dallas Hewitt passes underneath the flag stand. The number 21 car getting ready to throttle up and cut her loose for the Troy, Ohio racer. Aesthetic Finishers, Lone Star Pawn Shop, sponsors of the 21, regular with the Boss Series. We got to see the Boss Series in action a couple times last year. I did. Great series. Runs in conjunction with the Fast 410s. Another great wing series out in the Ohio Valley. So we'll send them on around. Want to be quickest in the hot laps or in the practice session? You got to be quicker than Emerson Axum with that 15.357. The old Magnum hanging on the back of his lap time. Again, my apologies for not being able to interact with you. Hopefully they're having a nice time. Thanks for checking out the Facebook Live. Don't forget to follow along with USAC Racing on Facebook, USAC Nation on Twitter and Instagram. Follow along with Flow Racing on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to our Flow Racing YouTube channel. So we continue on with the practice session. UMP Modifieds are in support out here this weekend. Kenny Wallace is walking around down the pits. He was doing some Facebook Live and earlier on. He must not have been on Verizon. That's all I can say. He's probably on T-Mobile, which appears to be superior to Verizon. I'm just going to keep saying that until somebody from Verizon calls me. Carson Garrett, the number 15, 14th quick for the number 15 car out of Littleton, Colorado. BGE, Doherty Motorsports, Altaz, Schaefer Oil, Hornbeck Concrete, sponsors of the number 15 car out of turn number 4 and across. He was 4th quick. He is now 3rd quick, a 15.431, 15.431 for Carson Garrett's last year's MSCS Rookie of the Year, even after an injury. An injury early in the year, and unfortunately took him out of competition for a while and still came back and earned Rookie of the Year honors. It's not too shabby. Send his group on around. I believe he's the quickest one. Well, I say that. Let me look around. Brady Short's the quickest out of this group. Short gets across here, went a 15.331, 15.331 for Brady Short. So quickest out of this group and into the number 1 spot for the 61M car. So pester hard down into the corner. Look out, got one around down turn number 1 and 2. That'll bring out the caution anyhow because the checkered flag just flew, so it's all good in the hood. That's the 7V car of Eddie Vansel out of Olney, Illinois. Lazy 8 Body Shop, Foamworks, E3 Spark Plugs. And interesting story, Eddie down there getting pushed off, kind of his rookie debut, we'll say, in the sprint cars, but got into sprint cars because he was at a Christmas party with Tony Stewart and got to sit in Tony Stewart's sprint car. Go figure. Didn't see that one coming, did you? I'll tell you more about it tomorrow night if you tune in and watch on Flow Racing or join us down here at Bubba Raceway Park for the 3 nights of Winter Dirt Games 13. Again, 6:30 start time, Eastern Standard Time. As I see C.J. Leary rolling up out of the staging lane, so we'll get him out here onto the racetrack, hot off his Big Gator win over at Volusia. $5,000 to win tomorrow night, $5,000 to win Friday night, $10,000 to win on Saturday nights. The Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Series will be doing the Amsoil inside the oval. If you're coming out here to the racetrack or if you're out at the racetrack, don't let me forget to tell you tomorrow where to sign up for Amsoil's Inside the Oval, where you can actually go inside the oval to watch the feature event. You get all kinds of cool free stuff. You get to hang out with Christy and Drake. It's a fun time. Fun time to be had by all. Here comes Tanner Thorson out, the number 19 car, first one to push off down the corner. And Thorson, hard charger last night down at East Bay Raceway Park with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Went from like 23rd to 9th or something like that for the Minden, Nevada racer. But that is the Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, AME Electrical, Mesilla Valley Transportation. You talk about a race team, it's all over the board. They're running midgets this year, non-wing sprint cars and wing sprint cars across a bunch of different locations and sanctions and everything else. So They went from winged mode last night to non-wing mode here tonight. So Tanner Thorson down on the inside, kind of idling along, taking a look at the berm. Just behind him, the 77M of C.J. Leary out of Greenfield, Indiana. Michael Motorsports, Kodiak Products, Gray Auto, Highsmith Guns, DMI, number 77M. Won the sprint car portion of the inaugural USAC Nationals at USAC last year. We'll be back up again at USAC Speedway in South Dakota again this year for the USAC Nationals. The dates have changed, so make sure you pay attention to the whole schedule or look at the schedule on USACRacing.com, but they did change the dates on that. But we'll be up there with the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Series and the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Series for a twofer over the weekend. You can go up there and stay in your campers. Lots of neat little state parks in that neck of the woods. So Brady Shortquick's in the practice session, a 15.331, 15.331, 15.357. Emerson Axum second quick. Carson Garrett, Chad Base-Fluke, and Jaden Rogers, the number 14, rounding out the top 5. So we get set to throw a little green flag action this way. Charging Charles Davis Jr. This is actually, believe it or not, Charging Charles Davis Jr. has been racing now for, a long time. We'll leave it at that. This is his first visit to Bubba Raceway Park. He said he's raced at East Bay, but he has not raced at Bubba. It's good to have the Buckeye, Arizona racer out here, and he is out of Buckeye, Arizona. That team travels a lot, but we'll be following the National Series this year. The MP Environmental, RSS Industries, Conroy, New Control. So we'll send him around here a couple times, the old 47. Green flag out for Mike up in the starter stand. Track definitely picking up the pace. 15.331, the number to beat if you want to be quickest in the practice session here tonight. Shout out to Kevin Miller, no doubt tuned in watching on the old Facebook Live. And I'm sure more. I wish I could talk to more of you. I apologize. That's my bad. Having a Verizon phone and paying all that money for the service when there's an outage. No, I'm sorry. I keep kidding about that. Everybody has issues. I don't know if it was somebody hit the tower or what the deal was. Madman Robert Ballou goes into the number 1 spot, a 15.139, 15.139 for Ballou. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to tell you this. It's a practice session, but Robert Ballou is going to be one to watch this year. He was finding some serious speed last year. He picked up the Eastern Storm Championship. He won out at Bridgeport the night I was there. I put a GoPro on the car, and he drove that thing all the way up through the field right into victory lane. But I just feel like he's hitting his stride again, so everything's clicking for the number 12 car. So the Rockland, California racer, keep your eye on him. Might not be a bad dirt draft pick this year, or this weekend for sure. Landon Simon out on the racetrack, the number 24 car coming out of Tip City, Ohio. Landon Simon Racing, True North Cannabis, East Mountain Transport, and the Hayloft, all sponsors of the former War Wildcard champ. Tanner Thorson was second quick right now. C.J. Leary third quick. But the Madman Robert Ballou locked and loaded. 14.639 for Robert Ballou, the first car and the only car into the 14-second bracket here tonight, at least so far. Charging Charles Davis into the number 4 spot with a 15.216. I told Charles he was going to like this racetrack. He likes momentum tracks, and this is one of them. And Charging Charles has got a pretty good trajectory on the number 47 car. It's going to be so much fun out here. Holy smokes. They are so fast. Tanner Thorson gets into the 14s now, a 14.824, much to his chagrin. Robert Ballou went a 14.294. So Ballou, at last trip through, went 14.294 for the Madman. And the number 12, Tanner Thorson, second quick, a 14.824. C.J. Leary, third quick with a 15.188. Charging Charles Davis Jr.'s fourth quick. And Brady Short to 61M got bumped down to the number 5 spot. Emerson Axum, Carson Garrett, Chad Base-Fluke, Jaden Rogers, and Landon Simon are how we stack up our top 10 in the practice session thus far. Kind of waiting on this car to show up out here. The number 67 rolling up onto the racetrack. It's Buddy Kofoid out of Pen Grove, California. Keith Coons, Kerbag, and Curb Records, Mobile One, IWX. So Keith Coons and the gang back here putting together a sprint car for this season. They're running for the Owner Championship. So Buddy Kofoid's in it now. Buddy Kofoid will run it a lot, but you'll see other racers behind the wheel of that number 67 car this season as well. So they're going for the Owners Championship for the Keith Coons Kerbagajanian crew. What's interesting, well, it's interesting for us, not so much for him. They came out for a practice session on Sunday. They rented the racetrack out here, and we're going to practice after the midgets raced. That car blew a tire. They don't know. They almost had to cut it. It was a brand-new tire, but they cut the right rear tire on that car getting into turn number 1, and Kofoid smoked the wall down at that end of the racetrack and knocked the rear end out of it, did a bunch of damage to the front end of that race car. He said it never actually went over. It kind of flopped on its side, but it never actually went over. But the tire burst so hard, it threw a piece down into the pit area and busted a window on a camper that was sitting down in the pits. They have never seen a tire come apart like that before. So he had a lot of tire speed getting down into turn number 1. But Buddy Kofoid, they did a massive amount of work this weekend, or this week, I should say. They were welding on that car. They got it all tore apart. It was down to the bare frame. If you go on to social media for Buddy Kofoid or for Keith Coons, Kerbagajanian, you can see the photos of them. They had that thing tore completely apart, completely rebuilt the car out here in the parking lot, got it back together again. He's out here practicing with it tonight. So it's good to see. And again, just a tremendous effort by all involved to get that thing back out onto the racetrack again. So that's your number 67 car you see in front of you I'm talking about. Darren Shanley tuned in watching on the Facebook Live. Shout out to D. Shan. There are some modifieds down the pits. I'm not sure. I think 12 showed up for practice tonight. They will practice a little bit later on after sprint cars get through here for a couple shots, and then we'll put the mods out there. Team AZ Racing in the house. Team Arizona Racing, Stratus Construction, Lucas Oil, RSS Industries, Beaver Stripes. That's Jake Swanson in the 21 AZ, and that is a gorgeous, gorgeous race car. I mean, it looks good on camera, don't get me wrong, but in person, wow, primo, chef's kiss. Anaheim, California runner, 2021 USAC Most Improved Driver, which blows my mind because Jake Swanson's been good for a while now across midgets and everything else he touched. Former West Coast Series champ back in 2017. He's got a couple wins with the USAC CRA, but hit the national tour last year, and they're trying to run the full season this year. They're looking for some sponsorship to help them make it the whole way. So if you want a young man that'll represent your company well, and a good-looking race car right there is the one you want to talk to. Jake Swanson, that Team AZ Racing, number 21 AZ. Send it through his first lap. He's already almost into the top 5. Got 6 quick, a 15.295 for Swanson. Send a few more around here. Scrolling around, see where he wind up. Shane Cottle's out on the racetrack, the number 39 car, down into turn number 1 and 2. Kansas, Illinois racer, the Boulevard Truck Repair. About the Hops Brewing. VP Racing Fuels, all sponsors at number 39. Heading through, and Cottle gets into the top 5. 15.180, 15.180, and Shane Cottle, one of those racers that's tough no matter where he shows up. Just behind him, the number 33 car, Matt Westfall. Westfall, a racer's racer, as he holds championships in midgets, late models, modifieds, sprint cars. We're good to have Matt Westfall out here with us, the number 33 M car. He gets into the top 5 spot. Look at that. I was just talking about him, and ba-bam. Puts himself up there with a 15.026. Now Cole Bodine gets it away from him. Bodine, another rookie runner. Or not a rookie runner, but another season coming out for him for Rossville, Indiana racer. DCT Racing, Desktop Metals, Fatheads, Brewer Farm sponsors on number 57B. As Kofoid gets the top spot. Can he get into the 13s? Well, 14.046, so he'll have to be satisfied with that. So Buddy Kofoid, quickest car it's been on a racetrack with a 14.046 lap time after a total rebuild down in the pit area this week. So how about them apples for the number 67? Give that whole crew a big round of applause down there. They put in a tremendous amount of work and a lot of hours on that 67. Robert Blue bumped down to second quick now. Jake Swanson, Shane Cottle, your top 4. Tanner Thorson, your top 5. Westfall, 6 quick. Cole Bodine, C.J. Leary, Charging Charles Davis Jr., Brady Short. Your top 10, we have had 37 cars on the racetrack. There have been 34 that have taken time. So a couple racers came out for engine heat but have not come back out for laps, although it may change now. As here comes the number 75 up out of the pit area. Putting out the call for the Modifieds to come out on the racetrack. UMP Modifieds get in the house. Kenny Wallace down there, one of the many drivers with us. Buzzy Ruderman's down there, so we got a lot of good talent in the modified ranks. We'll be racing out here this weekend as well. If you are in this neck of the woods, come on out to Bubba Raceway Park the next 3 nights. 6:30 start time on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. $5,000 to win for the sprint cars on Thursday and Friday, as well as accumulating points. Top 5 drivers will be locked into Saturday's $10,000 to win feature event. $10,000 to win on Saturday here at Bubba Raceway Park. If you can't make it out, you can join us on Flow Racing. Got a lot of good racing action on Flow Racing, as we have New Smyrna, I think, is live tonight as well on the Flow Sports app. Don't forget your Flow Racing subscription is good for everything on Flow Sports Network, all 25 verticals. Whether you like racing or rodeo or grappling or wrestling or basketball or hockey or bikes, it doesn't matter. That $150 subscription is good for absolutely everything. So take full advantage of it. Brandon Maddox passes through underneath the starter stand there. Terre Haute, Indiana racer. Brandon Maddox Racing. Maddox Heating and Cooling. R&B Powder Coat. Regular with the MSCS Series. Good to have him down here in Florida with us. He also a former USAC Most Improved driver back in 2020. Started out in 600 micros. Emerson Axum back out again, the 47 BC, going to take another shot at the top spot. Just behind him, the number 66 car. That's Shane Cockrum out of Benton, Illinois. Motti Racing back in action again. They had a couple years, or a few years, I guess is how you say it, hiatus. But the Hustler Turf Equipment, Ben's Lawn Service, MM&R Trucking, number 66, and that is a beautiful race car as well. And there's an identical one down in the pit area as a backup, but they came out loaded for bear. First trip down here for Shane Cockrum, as a matter of fact. I talked about Brady Short not being here since 2016. Cockrum hasn't been down here since 2015 for the former Lincoln Park 410 champ. So we're going to go lights out. Modifieds will be coming out next. Maybe we'll stick around. Are we going to stick around on Facebook Live for Modifieds a little bit? Might as well. What the heck? Watch a couple of UMP Modifieds get around here. UMP Modifieds are the bad boys of the modified world. Think late model with no fenders on the front. See what happens. Chase Stockton just ahead of Cockrum down into the corner. 5S car off that good run over at Volusia. We talked about that earlier on. Top spot, Buddy Kofoid, 14.046. That's the number to beat. You're going to be hustling hard if you're going to get there. Carson Short back out again with the 21X car. He's always fast. Actually, a track record holder down here, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get that dialed in for you tomorrow. Send him across. Carson Short gets into the number 3 spot of 14.485. 14.485. Chase Stockton. Where's he at? Down there a little bit. 10th quick for the 5S car. Short now goes second quick at 14.154, 14.154 for Carson Short. The 21, he's got your best shot at the top spot, I will say, although Stockton goes third quick at 5S, starting to find some velocity as well. We did a little ride along with him last year. You can see that video. He's got a little burn of nation. Chase Stockton so fast he's on fire. Down at turn number 3 and 4 and onto the back straightaway. There is definitely flames underneath the hood as Chase Stockton. And I don't know if we're going to go out or not. You see him on the left-hand bank. It blew some oil back there, and he might have some plug wires on fire. There's a little bit more than oil. That thing is red hot. In the old days, the old school drivers would come out here and pull a 360 and throw it backwards, and sometimes you can snuff the flames that way. He's just trying to drive out of it, but that's getting a little serious underneath the hood of the 5S car. His tootsies are getting warm. No doubt about it. On the radio with Chase Stockton. We'll let him know. And he needs to head towards fire and safety. They're going to try to stop him right here on the front chute. Well, he got past him. MedStar out here with us. Taking a look, and it may have gone out underneath the hood. Did you see him looking at it? You could have roasted your weenies in there. So hopefully everything is A-okay. Here comes some modifieds out onto the racetrack. We'll see if we can get some names for you here as we get set to go. Modified hot lap session. We'll stick around for this, and then we're going to dial out for tonight on the old Facebook Live. We'll thank you right now for joining us. In case you're planning on tuning out, maybe modifieds aren't your thing, but they should be. All racing should be your thing. As a matter of fact, check out, I'll be headed up to Lights Out 13. If you haven't seen some drag racing, that is an absolutely incredible drag race event with the drag radial cars, the small tire cars coming out there for that and running about 220 mile per hour in the 8th mile. But you can check it out, Lights Out 13. It'll be with your Flow Racing subscription. That'll be coming up next week on Wednesday through Sunday. I think I'll be up there. XIII Productions, they put on an incredible show at South Georgia Motorsports Park. So if you traveled down here, if you're out here in the stands and came down your camper, you might want to stop there on your way back up through. They got plenty of camping and really good food. Lasagna. When's the last time you had racetrack food that was lasagna? I'll tell you where. South Georgia Motorsports Park at XIII Productions, Lights Out 13. So Kenny Wallace, first one coming out on the racetrack, the number 36. He was throttled up and ready to rock and roll earlier on today. Of course, that's kind of Kenny all the time. Got the sizzle sticks on the back of the Pace side-by-side up there. Brad Hockaday likes those. So I'm not getting names or even numbers like I thought I would here for the Dirt Car Modifieds. That's Jeff Parsons in the number 44 popping up. Our 72 is kind of a late entry coming in here, and Richie checked him in, got a transponder on him. And we're just going to call him the Dirt Car Modified. The Dirt Car Modified guy, that's what it is. Kenny Wallace in the 36, the 27, not running his transponder here tonight, so he shall remain nameless as well, which kind of takes the fun out of it. So I guess it's going to be a Kenny Wallace show out here as we'll see what kind of lap times he can crank off. 27 not coming up with a name either. Definitely running the good binders on the back of him. He's got her sparked up there as he drags the brakes on, get that thing up on the bars. Through the green flag, we're off and running. UMP Modifieds again. The big boys of the modified world. Just basically open engine rules for these. Just get with the giddy up. Get out here and make it happen. Just send him around wafting some smoke out of the 242, I can tell you that. I think he's got some tire rub going on. Boy, he's got things walking up underneath there and I think getting into some body work. Wallace, a 17.568, 17.568, lap number 1 for Kenny in the 36 car. Yeah, it's definitely tire smoke. Got a lot of attitude to that race car. 72 car goes an 18.143. Wallace looks to be the fastest one in this group of 17.568. A pretty good lap time there for the old number 36. Bring it out of the corner. Yeah, you can definitely tell or smell the tire smoke up the tower now as it's wafting in here. It smells good. Just may get an air freshener. 44 pitching her down into the corner. 17.706 for Jeff Parsons in the number 44. Parsons also diamonds off the corner down turn number 1 and 2. I believe he has raced here in the past. Trying to take a straight shot down the back straightaway into turn number 3 for him. 72, our late arrival out here tonight. We're looking for probably out over the cushion he went. I thought he was going to slide up to the wall. Looking for probably in the neighborhood 20, 25 of these things checked in tomorrow. I think there was 12 checked in for practice session tonight, but UMP Modifieds in support. 42 Amsoil USAC National Sprint Cars checked in for racing action here. Winter Dirt Games 13, Bubba Raceway Park. Take the opportunity to thank you for joining us. Encourage you to follow along with USAC Racing on Facebook, USAC Nation on Twitter and Instagram. Follow along with Flow Racing on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to the Flow Racing YouTube channel. We'd love to have you on board for that as well. Flow Racing, just $150 a year for everything on the Flow Sports Network. So good to have you on here, and I apologize for not being able to interact tonight, but we'll be back in action again tomorrow night, Friday night, and Saturday, 6:30 start time. In the meantime, be kind, be safe, be positive, and be healthy, and we'll see you mañana right here for Winter Dirt Games 13 at Bubba Raceway Park.